Good morning, everyone. My name is Wilson Cristanto, and I would like to present you an informative speech about diseases. This diseases is going on for from the past up until now. Let me share your screen. All right. As you can see, my bad. As you can see, all of these people have a common. Uh, all of these people, they are rich. They have a common problem too, which they contracted sexual transmitted diseases. They got herpes, which is bad for their reputations and also for their health. So, about STDs, sexual transmitted diseases. Sexual transmitted diseases, it's diseases came from past up until now. You cannot stop people to not having sex. You cannot stop people who are gonna get transmitted diseases. That's just everywhere. It sounds like it's a world fact, I guess. And so, in this speech, you will expect to know the origin of the gonorrhea, how it works, and also the treatment of the gonorrhea. Let's begin with the origin or the history of sexual transmitted diseases. Back in the old days, Bible recorded Bible record sexual transmitted diseases from discharge, bodily discharge. As it says, unusual bodily discharge is unclean, and emission of semen for men in the Leviticus describe it as an unclean. Sorry, refresh it again. If you check it on the Leviticus chapter 13, you will see there's a regulations about uh, how Israelites have a treatment on bodily discharge. And also back in those days, they do not know how to describe it. They only know they can only describe it as a white discharge or a pus, a bad odor, can be yellow or green that came out from your genital. So in Greek, they call it gonos, which is semen, and rhoia, which means flux or liquid or flowing. Later on in late Latin, they describe it as gonorrhea. In 1256, at the French brothels, they described gonorrhea as the clapping sensations, as the clap. So what does that mean by the clap? So once a person urinates or pee, they get sensation of clap, a painful sensation of clap. That's why they call it les capillaires. Next, the earlier treatment of STDs. I'm quite curious about how these people can have a treatment. So in ancient Egyptians, they use a sandal oil and a cow horn. Maybe they add some mixes herbs like garlic, ginger, or I don't know, some herbal treatment. And then they put it in their penis. As you can see on the pictures, they literally, I don't know, put a powder or they, I don't know, press it. I have no idea, but that looks painful. The second one, the treatment came from the ancient Greeks, where they put a weight and a hot iron on the top of your genital. The reason why, because to create the pressure to take out all of the pusses, which is really painful if you have a hot iron pressing on your urinary bladder. Yeah, it's not good. And another centuries later, it's when they discover mercury. Mercury become an essential for a lot of things, especially for medications. A lot of people use mercury to treat it, and they try it for sexual transmitted diseases as well. And later on, they found out the treatment can also be used with arsenic and sulfur nitrate and also fumigations, or I call it as a steamer. You see the guy use the guys inside the steam, and they call it fumigation. That's for sure. All right, next would be in 1879, a professor named Albert Ludwig Sickness Nasser, they found that he can able to identify these diseases. These diseases It's a diplococci diseases, diplococci diseases, and a gram-negative. Diplococci means two cells acting as a one cell. So how gonorrhea works then, how the bacteria works in the cell wise. How it works, it begins with the transmissions. Transmissions came from sexual, oral, rectal, or normal sex, genitals to genitals. How it works, the bacteria came to your urinary tract, the tract of, the urinary tract. It came in, permeate inside, and then infect the tissues. Actually, the tissues sees it as a nutrient. They do not know it, so they swallow it. They endocytosis. And once they endocytosis the bacteria produce lipooligosaccharide and tumor necrosis factors, which is it's a biofilm or a molecule that can damage your immune factors, neutrophils or phagocytes. It damage the thing, which is the reason why you will see a white pus or a green pus on or a green discharge from your genital. That's how it works. And the CDC record there are 94% of 15 to 24 years ages contracted these diseases. So in the scale of 750 of 100,000, most likely the one that can able to contract that sexual transmitted diseases with gonorrhea is from the ages of 15 up until 29. So yeah, it occurs on young people. Yeah, young people just being young people, I guess, having sex every day, unsafe sex, cause you damage. So what are the signs and symptoms of STD? So for male and female have the same similarity, which is a burning sensation while urinating or clapping sensation, as the French French brothel describes it. A white, yellow, or green discharge from the penis, and for a female, there will be more increased vaginal discharge. And for addition for male, the male might have a swollen testicle. For female, it might have a bleeding between their periods. And the complication of gonorrhea, if you don't treat your gonorrhea for the male, the tubing in the testicle area becomes really extremely painful, and eventually they cannot able to reproduce a sperm. They cannot able to make a kid. For the female, it's way more worse than a male. You're gonna get a pelvic inflammatory diseases, which it's inflamed on your pelvic. It's because of bacteria. And also the pelvic inflammatory diseases is commonly found for middle-aged people. And another complication would be a scar tissues that blocks fallopian tubes. Because it's swollen so bad, your fallopian tubes, it blocks it. The tissue blocks it. And if you have sex to have kids while having a gonorrhea, there's a chances to get ectopic pregnancy infertility, which means that the baby will be grow in any other organs, not any other organs, simply in fallopian tubes, not in your cervix. Bad. And also, it will be a long-term pelvic abdominal pain. So there you go. These diseases need to be treated as soon as possible. You have to treat it. There's no other way to not treat it. How it treats? Simple. It's use antibiotics. You need to use a single dose of 250 milligrams of intramuscular ceftriaxone and 1 gram of oral azithromycin with a medication prescription. So go to your doctor, ask your doctor what's the best prescriptions for gonorrhea. You will gonna refer it as with your data profiling from your record, and boom, you might be cured. And is there any vaccine? Nope, no vaccine. Any alternative medications? You want to put a hot iron on your genitals? Hell no. You want to put a herbal or sulfate nitrate inside your urinary tract? You can't do that. It doesn't work that way. So go to your doctor, get the antibiotic, you're clean. And thank you for watching. In conclusions, if you have a sexual urge, please control it. Have a safe sex. Don't cheat. Don't cheat your husband or your wife. Try to stick with the one person. And to close this, what do you call a bunch of cheating husband came to the bar? I call it as a round of applause. Thank you so much for watching. You have a good day.